Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Meg Moonbeam, and welcome to the Friday, April 5th edition of the Daily Astro Show. Very happy to be here with you guys today. And as you guys can maybe tell that have been following this new rendition of the show the past week, I'm doing this 2 hours earlier than I normally do at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, because I've got a very busy day today. I'm going to be traveling back to Canada tomorrow, and I've just got a lot going on in my schedule, so I had to bump this up a couple hours earlier. So hope you guys don't mind about that. Before I get into the astrology, just want to mention, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam as well as Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channels. We are simulcasting the Daily Astro shows from both of the channels, and we appreciate everybody's support out there. So thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And also, I do offer personal astrology consultations that are available over at consultations.beyondmystic.net. So if you'd like to get more of a personal consultation with me, those are available at that website. And I think my availability at the moment is starting in June, if I'm not mistaken. So that's my earliest availability at the moment. And we've got all-in-one word discount code Beyond Mystic that you can use to get 10% off your next reading with me. So, okay, how's it going, everybody? How's everybody feeling? Nice to be here with you guys live, or whoever's going to be catching the replay. Hope you're all doing very well. Hi, Jill. Good morning to you as well. Thank you so much for the well wishes. Yes, I'm very excited to be going back to my homeland of Canada, and I'm going to be right in the 100% path of totality of the eclipse on Monday. So I'm really, really excited about that. And Judith says, no necklace. Yes, as you guys can see, I am not wearing the neck brace anymore. So thank you guys very much for all the positive energy you sent my way. I am feeling way better, and I can move my neck almost 100% back to normal. So thank you guys so much for that. So today in this video, you guys are going to see that the Friday editions of the Daily Astro Show are going to be a little bit different than the Monday to Thursday, because in the Fridays, I'm going to get into the astrology of the weekend as well. So I'm going to talk about Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but also this one's going to be extra special because I'm also going to talk about Monday. Okay, so on Monday, I'm not going to be doing a live Daily Astro Show because I will be in the Niagara region of Canada, out in a field somewhere. I'll be freaking out trying to find the exact right spot to be watching the eclipse. So Monday, there will not be a Daily Astro Show, but I will be back on Tuesday for the next Daily Astro as well. I will film the weekly Beyond Astro forecast on Tuesday as well. So no worries, guys. I'm not stopping the show. Just Monday is going to be the day of the eclipse, and I've got to go out into the middle of nowhere. Me and my best friends and husband, we're going to manifest the perfect spot to be under the eclipse. So I'm wishing all of you guys a very safe, joyful, magical eclipse wherever you will happen to be. So, okay, we're going to start by looking at the chart of today as I'm filming this video, which is Friday, April 5th. And, you know, we've still got the Sun conjunct North Node. I pulled the chart for midnight of April 5th, which is already just passed, but just to show you guys that as of today, Venus has now entered the sign of Aries. We've got Venus at 0 degrees of Aries. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We're still under the influence of that powerful conjunction, Sun conjunct North Node, which if you didn't listen to yesterday's Daily Astro Show, I'll just explain very briefly that this is a really powerful aspect, this Sun conjunct North Node that was exact on April 4th, but is still very strong today and going into this weekend, of us gaining major insights and divine downloads, signs, and inspirations on what is in alignment for us to be focusing on, okay? And you're gonna see, as I'm talking about in this Daily Astro Show with the Sun conjunct North Node in Aries, Venus entering Aries, and the total solar eclipse in Aries, it is all about the Aries energy, okay? So what is Aries, you guys? What does Aries rule in astrology? This is the sign of our foundations, self, bravery, independence, entrepreneurship, leadership, empowerment, okay? And also physicality, action, movement. It's the first sign in astrology. So we're very much in that Aries influence where, you know, with that Sun conjunct North Node influence, it's very good for us to be bold and brave in our dreams, goals, and wishes. What do we know that we should be doing, but maybe scares us? Okay, so important to not just be paying attention to the signs and synchronicities that are coming up, but also what are our fears that are coming up? What scares us? Because Aries rules fearlessness. And with the North Node in Aries, the eclipses in Aries, we are being called to move past stagnation, to move past our fears, and to be in our empowerment, okay? I will say again that that Sun conjunct North Node was at 15 degrees when it was exact. The Sun is now at 16 degrees of Aries as of today. But the 15 degrees where the nodes are right now, and where, let me just double check something. Yeah, where they will also be at the exact time of the eclipse on Monday, the 15 degrees is a critical degree in astrology. And it's a degree of creative tension. It's the middle degree out of the, 30 degrees. And so there's something that is challenging that all of us personally in the collective need to move through. There's fears or there's tests that we are moving through around those Aries ruled areas of life, around our empowerment journey and what is stagnant that we need to be releasing at this time. As I said, today, April 5th, Venus moves into 0 degrees of Aries, which I like. I like that we no longer have Venus in Pisces, even though Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces. It's nice that we've only got 3 planets left in Pisces. Okay, and why I'm saying that is nice is because, yes, Pisces is a beautiful sign that rules spirituality and creativity and compassion. But with that Saturn in Pisces and Neptune, the ruler of Pisces and its rulership, there can be a lot of confusion, a lot of mental health issues, illusions, and lack of clarity. And with us coming into, we've got the Sun in Aries, the eclipse is going to be on Aries, North Node, Chiron, Mercury, now Venus in Aries, things are starting to become more clear to us. The sign of Aries is very underrated for how good of a bullshit detector of it is, how good that archetype is at seeing things clearly. So, and I've been saying this a lot in the content lately, pay attention to what is coming up for you in terms of themes in life, any potential red flags, and be honest with yourself about it and make changes according to what is going on, okay? Because Aries is all about self-empowerment, boundaries, and no BS, okay? And as we get more and more going into Aries, we're being tested on those areas. So even though Venus is at what we call detriment in Aries, I am very happy to see Venus move into Aries. And Venus is at detriment because Venus is the planet that rules relationships and love and commitment and the beauties and pleasures of life, and is at home in the signs of Libra and Taurus. So Libra is the opposite sign of Aries, one of Venus's home signs. So that means in Western astrology that Venus is at detriment in Aries. Venus doesn't really like to be there, but I feel like it's good for us at this time. It's supporting us with the eclipses. Venus rules our values. So we're really valuing ourselves with this Venus in Aries. We're really being aware of our independence and our own personal needs. And it's important for us as an overall theme for like the whole next rest of the year to be focusing on ourselves and our own values and our own needs, and not to say don't pay attention to other people at all, okay? But with the North Node in Aries, that's our collective higher purpose, honoring self, honoring what works for us, and letting go of excess other people's needs, projections, and energies, which is Libra, which is our south node sign, what we're letting go of. So with Venus now being in Aries and these eclipses coming and the Sun conjunct North Node, this is where we can have, a lot of changes in relationships this week, where we can see where people don't maybe honor us, where people don't maybe take us seriously, and where we can prove them wrong, and we can let go of other people's projections and energies, which I know I've been repeating so much lately, but it's so important. Okay. Oh my God, Katrina. Hi, Katrina. One of my very dear friends is here in the chat. She says, I have the place for you, Meg. I'm going to message you later, Katrina. She's in the Niagara area. Diane says, letting go, I'm trying. And yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard to let go, right? Especially if it's people or things that we've been very attached to. But it's so important at this time. It is so important. And I know I may sound like a broken record, but I feel like there is toxicity in our lives, in the collective, but also perhaps for ourselves personally, that we need to be paying attention to those red flags and letting go, be open to surrendering, and be honest about what comes up at this time. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to keep repeating that. Well, we've got the North Node in Aries. Something really positive about Venus in the sign of Aries, even though it's at detriment, and there can possibly be more conflict during that transit in love and business relationships, Venus in Aries ignites our passion and can make us feel more confident and bold in our values, in accessing those values, and also in love. Okay, so we can feel more easily to speak up in love or to speak up in our commitments. So yeah, Venus enters Aries as of today. And then when we get into Saturday, April 6th, okay, we're not out of the woods with all this Pisces energy, because tomorrow the moon will be in Pisces and will also be in Pisces on Sunday as well. So this is with the moon in Pisces in the 2 days leading up to the eclipse, Saturday and Sunday. We can really be empathically, psychically sensitive, okay, coming up to the eclipse. This is where I think Friday is going to be the last day, to be honest with you guys, with the moon in Aquarius, that we're going to not be feeling as sensitive. As we get into Saturday and Sunday, this is where Spirit's making me feel intuitively that some of us are feeling like we've just been hit with a ton of bricks, or we're just feeling overly sensitive. So I'm not wishing that upon anybody, but just saying, especially if you are a Pisces or a water sign, but this is actually for all of us, we're going to be feeling really empathically, psychically sensitive Saturday, Sunday, right before going into the eclipse. And this is such a big deal, this eclipse, you guys, and I'm going to talk about it in just a couple minutes, that it's so important for us to be doing extra self-care, to be drinking really good water, eating really good nutritious food. With the moon in Pisces and a stellium of planets in Pisces, including Neptune in its rulership, doing grounding, earthing, getting barefoot outside would be really good Saturday and Sunday, if that's possible, wherever you guys are. Okay. I do really like that on Saturday, we're going to have an exact Venus sextile Pluto. Okay. That's a really nice aspect. Venus and Aries sextile to Pluto and Aquarius. And that influence is going to be with us as we go into the eclipse as well. On Monday, we'll still have that aspect, but it'll be exact on Saturday. So Saturday is a day where we can be emotionally feeling really sensitive, and Pisces is also the sign the moon will be in, and the sign Neptune, Saturn, and Mars is in, that rules the collective unconscious, right? So we can be really tapped into the collective unconscious, what the collective is feeling as a whole. So just, again, very important to do some extra self-care as we get into the weekend. But we've got that nice Venus sextile Pluto, which is a passionate, very creative aspect. So that's a really positive aspect where, especially when it comes to the financial side of life, I think there's going to be something really positive that comes up this weekend. You know, Pluto is in Aquarius, which rules cryptocurrencies. We've got that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. Uranus is the dispositor of Pluto in Aquarius, cryptocurrency. I think we could see a really big, what's it called, bull run maybe start this weekend for the cryptos, or some kind of really good news when it comes to the crypto or the financial markets. And I'm not a financial advisor, you guys, but just saying as an astrologer, that Venus sextile Pluto, very good this weekend for the financial side of things. And the financial side of things that have to do with independence and freedom and are for the good of the people, okay? Because it's Pluto in Aquarius, freedom, cryptocurrency, the collective brotherhood, sisterhood of humanity, and sextile to Venus in Aries, which is self, also freedom and independence, and things that are really of value. So just something to pay attention to in that regard. And yeah, as we get into Sunday, we've still got that moon in Pisces, and it will conjunct Neptune at 28 degrees of Pisces. So getting into the last critical degrees, that is where some people may be feeling emotionally like, I wish there was a better saying for me to say, but that maybe they are literally losing it mentally. Also, we've got a Mercury retrograde at the same time right now. So if we're getting into Sunday, day before the eclipse, moon is conjunct Neptune, Mercury is retrograde. If you're feeling really like weird mentally or emotionally, and you kind of feel like you're losing it, or you're noticing some people around you may feel like you're losing it. Sorry, you guys, I'm not calling that in for anyone, but just reading the astrology, just taking it easy, get outside, get grounded, get barefoot, get off the screens, get off your phone, okay? I know I sound like a broken record, but self-care is so important right now with this very intense astrology as we get into this eclipse. Jim Zen McKay says, silver and gold, I think will start going higher as well. That's a really good point. I was having a total brain fart. Will be really good for silver and gold this weekend as well. So that's awesome. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Monday as well, because I told you guys earlier at the beginning of this video that on Monday, I won't be filming a daily astro show because I'll be out somewhere, trying to find a good spot for the eclipse, because it's going to be right in the afternoon Eastern time. So then we get into Monday, okay? And we've got at 2:17 p.m. the great North American eclipse, but for the whole world, the whole collective, new moon solar eclipse at 19 degrees of Aries. Exactly conjunct Chiron with a Mercury retrograde and a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, and Neptune in his home sign of Pisces, and Pluto in Aquarius. This is not a normal eclipse. Okay, you guys, and eclipses are never even normal to begin with, if I can use that word, because they're the times of fate and destiny. They're the biggest astrological events. They're major portals of doors closing, new ones opening. But why this one is so special, and why after this day of April 8th, things will never be the same, and we're stepping into a completely new era, is because this is a new moon eclipse. New moons are new beginnings in the sign of Aries, which is the first sign in astrology that rules our foundations, right? That rules independence and freedom, with a Pluto in Aquarius, very special astrological transit that's about freedom for we the people. And if that's not crazy enough, Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, that'll be exact on April 20th. So this whole eclipse of Monday, April 8th screams the start of a new era, okay? It is the start of a new era. And you're gonna wanna look at where in your personal chart you have 19 degrees of Aries to see what house and planets are being activated for you for the whole next year. New moon eclipses don't just have an influence on the day of the eclipse or for that eclipse season, but for the whole next year period. So very important to see where you've got Aries 19 degrees in your chart, or anyone who has placements between 3 to 5 degrees of Aries 19 degrees will feel this the most, as well as the Aries, Libras, Cancers, and Capricorns. Those are all the cardinal signs. So this eclipse is happening, as I said, in Aries, and it's a huge new portal of new beginnings for us over the course of the next year in those areas areas of life. Am I speaking clearly? Aries and areas, it's a tongue twister. And I will say again, Aries is our foundations. Aries is survival. Aries is self-sufficiency, action, independence, leadership, freedom, directness, no bullshit. Conflict, war, frustration, our inner warriorship, our divine masculine, athletes, cars, the present moment, and bravery. So we are going through a huge initiation and new beginning in those areas. And it's an eclipse in the sign of the North Node. So it's our destiny and our collective higher purpose to be in alignment with those areas, okay? And it's such a powerful eclipse because we're all being inspired to be truly more free and to wake up out of the matrix, which if you're listening to this video, you're probably awakened out of the matrix. And if this is your first spiritual or astrology video that you're ever listening to, hi, how are you? Welcome to the spiritual side of things. Welcome to the spiritual community. Yeah, we're stepping out of the matrix, and even more people are waking up with the influence of this eclipse over the next year. And as I said, it's exactly conjunct Chiron, which is the asteroid that rules our wounds, our healing journey, the wounded healer. So we are healing through where we have given our power away in this life, in any lives, on the ancestral level, where we have given our power away. So that's something good that we can be reflecting on if you feel called to during this eclipse season. And on April 8th, right? A new moon eclipse in Aries. Where have I given my power away, and how can I take it back? How can I start a new beginning in taking it back? Hi, Carla. Very nice to see you. Lakeside Laura, hello, says this eclipse portal has affected me physically big time. Yeah. And that's something, Laura, that I feel like I've not been talking about enough. So I'm very happy that you brought that up. Aries is the first sign in astrology, and it's one of the signs that deals with our physical body and our physicality. So we can definitely be feeling this on the physical level, not just on the psychic, emotional level, but also physically, right? You guys have been seeing me the past 3 days with a freaking neck brace on. If you've been watching these videos, and I've been hearing a lot of you guys, like yourself, Laura, saying it's been affecting you physically. So again, extra self-care. We can be processing it through the physical level. So some of my collective predictions for this eclipse is over the course of the next year, the freedom and independence movement growing even more exponentially, and particularly in Canada. Okay, not only in Canada, but particularly in Canada, because this eclipse is happening at 19 degrees of Aries, and Canada has its rising sign at 16 degrees of Aries, how Canada shows up to the world, its personality, and how it's seen. So we're going to see Canada over the course of the next year really step up and not take, wanting to be a part of the British monarchy. That's been one of my predictions for a while, starting to become an independent free country, letting go of, leadership that doesn't serve us. So Canada is going to be very, very highlighted and is going to shock the world with some of the changes that are going on. But for the whole collective, no matter what country you're in, the freedom movements are growing even more. We could see, because this eclipse is in Aries, Aries is the sign of war and conflict. Okay, I believe we already are in a war. We've already been in a war for the past, ever since 2020. And yes, Miss Vicky 2021, I agree with your comment that I've just highlighted on the screen. It's coming very, very soon, what you're bringing up there. Wow, I just had a brain fart. What was I about to say? I was talking about, oh yeah, war. We're going to see, we're already in a war. We're already in a spiritual, psychological war. And that's going to be kind of at a crescendo point over the course of the next year. But there's also going to be the bad guys, the dark side of life, scaring us with a new type of war, even though we're already in one, let's be honest. And that new type of war, okay, is something that's just trying to pull us into fear, that is just trying to pull us back into disempowerment. And it's very important that we do not feed that at all. Okay, with our dollars, with our time, with our fear, with, I think that's kind of self-explanatory, but just saying we will see some of these darker forces trying to scare us with war. But it's important for us to just not feed it, to be in our light warriorship. Okay, because whatever we put our energy towards is what we are attracting in life. Also, as this eclipse is the Great North American Eclipse, and the path of totality will go through Mexico, US, and Canada, North America will be very highlighted and will go through huge changes over the next year, stepping into greater freedom, independence, bravery as well. But the whole world, I want to be very clear, the whole world is doing that. Also, new leadership is going to show up in all facets of life in the collective, in federal governments, in local communities, and big businesses. And these are people that are more for we the people. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I did an eclipse workshop over on the Beyond Mystic Academy that's 5 hours long. I recorded it live on March 15th, and the replay is available at beyondmystic.academy, where I do an even bigger deep dive on this eclipse season and what it means for each of the 12 signs. So if you want to check that out, you can. And I also want to mention, you guys, very happy that we've got Ashala now on the Beyond Mystic team. And she's going to be starting to do a weekly psychic tarot show. The first one is going to be on April 6th at 4 p.m. Eastern. So check that out on the Beyond Mystic channels. And she's also offering personal psychic tarot readings that are available at consultations.beyondmystic.net. Thank you, Laura, for putting the link in the live chat there. And yeah, the shows always go by so fast. So we're at the end of this daily Astro show. I love you guys so much. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like a personal consultation with me, the link is in the description box of this video. Also, please remember to subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam, as well as Beyond Mystic, YouTube, and Rumble channels. And I will be back on Tuesday, April 9th, for the next Daily Astro Show. As I said, April 8th, I will be out watching the eclipse at that time. So I will see you guys on Tuesday for the next Daily Astro Show. I'm wishing you all the most magical eclipse ever. Things will never be the same. Let me know how it's going in the comments. I love to hear from you guys, and I'm sending so much cosmic love your way. See you very soon. See you on the other side of the eclipse. Mwah. Bye.